Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining our Lunch and Learn today. We have Peggy DeSalle with Safe and Home, and I'm just going to turn it right over to you to get have time to share your presentation and information with us today. For those of you watching this back, you can always reach out to us afterwards with any questions you have. Thank you, Peggy.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Teresa. And oh, hi, Erin. How are you? Nice to see you. So wonderful. Thank you, ladies, for inviting me today. It is just my daily thing of trying to educate as many people about this very overlooked service called remote supports. And so again, thank you so that we can help spread the word about this amazing service. So come on now, there we go. All right, so we are a DDA approved provider in the state, which means that this service is paid for with the aggregate dollars of the IFS waiver, the Basic Plus waiver, the core residential and non-residential. So like I said, it's a wonderful service available to everybody on those waivers. And of course, we also have private pay options available if need be. So Safe and Home Remote Supports is really about connecting people to support when they want it and when they need it, and yet supporting their privacy when they want that. So it's a really amazing person-centered service where they really get to call the shots on how they want the service to look. We're going to just take a quick few minutes and watch this video. This is Stacy and Emily. These are two actual people on service with Safe and Home. And this kind of gives you just a look into a day in the life of what it's like for someone to be on service. So I think this speaks way 1,000 words better than I can do to explain the service. So here we go. Hear it.
I have Safe and Home and I love them. They're really good and they make me feel good when I talk to them. I would recommend it to anybody. I used to feel sick all the time. My anxiety issues and somewhat depressed because I didn't have anybody to help me or talk to me. And if I had a problem, I used to have to call the ambulance. But since I've had Safe and Home, I've been calling them if I need them. People who talk to me from Safe and Home are nice people. None of them are mean to me. They always say, well, if you need something, you can call us. Like anytime, we're open 24/7. Even if it'd be midnight, you could call us.
My name is Alex Cosma. I am the remote support training manager here at Safe and Home.
Our staff is trained by a licensed psychologist in acceptance and commitment training methodologies. Our staff knows how to handle this gracefully, and major behavioral challenges or behavioral manifestations like calling emergency medical services frequently, having someone who's committed and who's listening and who knows how to de-escalate somebody or, work them down from an emotional high. That's part of what we do.
Hi, Stacey.
Hi. I have a little anxiety right now. I heard some ambulance go by my house. It made me nervous.
Just try to relax. Music really helps a lot,
It does. Sometimes I listen to Michael Jackson.
Oh, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I like Michael Jackson.
One of my favorites, too.
I'm just glad that I talked to you guys because I just feel a heck of a lot better when I talk to somebody because then it makes me relax. It makes me feel better.
Awesome. Just keep smiling,
Yeah. The GeoComm is a good thing to have. All you have to do is press a button and you'll get help. I think I'm lost. Could you help me find my way home? Safe and Home has been very good helping me in this. They've really come through for me, and I'm just happy and glad that I have them.
Hi, my name is Emily Line. I'm a supports coordinator supervisor at Cumberland Perry MHIDP, and I've worked with Emily for about 4 years now. She wanted that independence. She wanted that freedom, you know, the ability to make her own schedule, do what she wants to do when she wants to do it. I remember first meeting Emily, and that was, you know, something she talked about at that point. She was so excited to make that transition and make that next step.
I'm just so happy that I can live on my own. When I was living at home, I really just wanted to live on my own. I have my own job and I'm making my own money.
You know, this Safe and Home has really made her much more independent. She doesn't need mom to give her permission for things because she is independent. And if she's having struggles, she has that to call instead of mom to call. All she has to do is just push a button, and pretty much instantly she's connected with a live person. Safe and Home has been able to magnify her independence, and they're available to set up daily calls to do check-ins. She forgets to take her medicine at a certain time of day. They call, she's having a really rotten day, they can help talk her down, you know, try to change the outlook. With Emily having anxiety and all that kind of stuff, it just gives her that extra person that cares about me. Thank God for Safe and Home. I didn't want her to be stuck at home with me because that's not what a 25-year-old should have to do. If they have opportunities, they should be entitled to living their life to the fullest. She's organized little meet and greets down at the little Dairy Queen down the street. She reaches out to the Special Olympics friends, and they all have their little evening Zoom calls. She wouldn't have that if she was at home with me.
I feel safe at home because I have Safe and Home.
Okay. So there are 5 elements to remote supports. I'm going to go through each one individually. The first and foremost, of course, it's a very person-centered service. So the first element and the most important element is the person themselves. And this service is built around exactly what their needs are, what their wants are, what their goals are, how they want their life to look like. And I work with, you know, their support team, and we build a plan based on that information, on exactly what they need help with. Is it, you know, medication management? Is it kitchen safety? Is it, you know, whatever the need is and the want is, that's what we build for them. And then, of course, the second element is our remote support staff, which we'll get into in one second. But the way that we connect our remote support staff to the individual is using sensor technology and assistive technology. You saw 2 types of assistive technology being used in the video. One is the tablet, and it's a super easy, there we go, super easy tablet to use. All they have to do is just tap that green button, and they're instantly connected to a live remote support staff 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So even if they woke up in the middle of the night and had a bad dream or something like that, they would have access to somebody 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then we can also do check-in calls with them for help, again, like with medication management, or maybe their ADLs, or maybe they have an appointment for that particular day that they needed to be reminded of. We help someone, she attends online school, and so every morning right before class starts, we get her on her tablet and say, okay, don't forget, let's go log on to your online school. So something even that simple we can help with. We also use things like medication dispensers that can be set to alert the individual at the time that it's for them to take their medications. They pick up the dispenser, they dispense the medication in their hand, they put it back down, and then it sets for the next time for the day. Like you see the video doorbell there, we do things like visitor safety. They can see who's outside their door on their tablet without even ever having to open up their door. They can have a conversation with someone. And so it just gives them that extra layer of safety and security. And then we have the weekly reports. So the weekly reports, every interaction that we have with these individuals is documented. So we will document things like mood. Did they take their medication? What was the conversation about? It's all documented so that their family members or their case manager can have access to these notes so that they can see especially if the individuals live alone. And by the way, this service can be implemented even if they're still living with family members. We do it all the time. Just to, again, start exercising those independent muscles. So our remote support staff, as you heard in the video, are all trained by a licensed professional, which is in acceptance commitment therapy. So they're taught how to talk to people with depression, anxiety, intellectual disability, whatever, everybody that we encounter on a daily basis. And they, know how to de-escalate situations. They know, and first of all of the information about that individual is gathered by me during the process of the consultation. And so we know so many things about the individual before they even get on service. And we use their PCSP and their assessment in order to gather more information. So when they call the remote support staff, they have 3 screens in front of them. And the middle screen is the live feed of the individual. They're immediately greeted by name, like you saw in the video. And then the other 2 screens that populate will show all of their information that we need to know about that individual, what their likes are, what their dislikes are. Do they have a dog, a cat? What are their family member names? Things like that, so that it doesn't matter who takes their call, they know everything there is to know about that individual right off the bat. And what this service also does is it still offers that human-to-human connection that they can have. So it's great for people that are isolated or that just need that social interaction, right? A lot of people call 911 just to talk to a live human. And what we always do is redirect them to us instead, because there's no, consequences for calling us 10 times a day, but there certainly would be if they called 911 10 times a day, right? So this creates that continuity and stability in their life. They actually look forward to getting those check-in calls because, then it changes their whole perspective of like, wow, somebody's thinking of me and I'm being seen and heard. So it makes such a huge difference in people's lives. And all of our support centers are HIPAA compliant. And it's a key card access only. No one is allowed to work remotely from home. It's in a locked down facility that is supervised 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And all of the interactions are documented on the support notes and also video, because if we ever have to go back and look at a conversation or anything, we have the ability to do that. So, and it was really cool. I mean, they really do a great job of creating those authentic relationships with the individuals on service. I had the privilege of walking through one of our call centers one time. And it was just kind of like walking around, just hearing friends talking to friends. It's not a clinical setting whatsoever. It's just, they were talking about, what they did last night, or what did you make yourself for dinner? Or, just like as if they were, if you're hearing friends talk to friends. It was really a very cool experience. So these are some of the solutions that we offer people. These are probably the most popular. Medication management, we kind of talked about already. We do overnight support, like if they have some in-home care during the day, but they really need some overnight support. We're there for them for that. Visitor safety, we already talked about. Kitchen safety is a very popular one too. We can put like heat sensors on a stove and the oven, and put a motion sensor in the kitchen. And let's say maybe they once in a while forget to turn off the burner or forget to turn off an oven. A heat sensor or a heat alert will be sent to our remote support staff. They'll turn on that motion sensor and they'll see if anybody's in the kitchen. If there's motion going on in the kitchen, obviously they're not going to reach out to the individual because they're cooking. But if there is no motion, they'll reach out to them on their tablet and say, hey, Susan, we're noticing that there's some heat coming from the kitchen. Let's take a walk over there. And they'll do that with the tablet. And then the remote support staff can confirm that the oven and the stove have been turned off. So that's one of the ways we can support people with kitchen safety so that they can cook with confidence. And also their support team, can be have that peace of mind that they are, that they're okay cooking on their own. Elopement is another one that we support a lot. Seizure management, fall mitigation. You just give us the scenario and we will find the solution to help that individual. So now you kind of might want to be asking, well, who's a good fit for this? Well, anybody that would benefit from daily check-ins or reminders, or if they need behavioral support. And I also mentioned already that, where if they crave social interaction, maybe by calling 911 frequently, that they can still have that human-to-human interaction. We can help people with their ADLs. This is for someone who, like I said, either lives at home with their family or lives independently on their own, or even with roommates. It can work in all of those situations, except for not someone who's in supported living and receiving 24-hour paid support from the state, because we can't layer services on top of each other. So remote supports is really transforming the lives of not only the individuals themselves, because it is teaching them self-determination, independence. And I just love this picture because I always use the phrase that it helps them, exercise their independent muscles. And so it really does, give them the confidence. I have a perfect example of, I had one individual who was living at home and she wanted to go to college, and her family was a little nervous about her going away to college after she had lived, she was living in her family home her whole life. Well, we put her on service while she was still at home, and she was on service for about a year and ended up going to Wazoo and living in the dorms all by herself. And she did it with more confidence, and her family, let her go with more peace of mind, because they knew that she was going to be supported 24 hours a day. So that was so cool to experience that. And also the case management agencies, they know that they're getting around the clock support, and this also helps kind of, deter a lot of the calls to case managers too. So they like that aspect of it. So how do we get started? It's very simple. We keep this very super simple. And so you just contact me if you want to start the process about even just doing a consultation, getting some more information. There's no obligation at all. There's no charge for a consultation. We just set up a conversation and determine whether or not the individual is a good fit. Once it's a good fit, then I draw up a proposal and send it to their case manager for prior approval through DDA. And then once that is approved by the state, I schedule an installation with our field service technician, and they bring the equipment out to the individual. They will set everything up, if it's, installing, sensors or whatever it is, or just even bringing just a tablet and a geocom. They work with them to make sure that they are comfortable. They do practice calls together. They spend a lot of time making sure that they're comfortable with the equipment before they leave. It's not just like we're shipping them, equipment and expecting them to read the directions and figure it out. It's very, very personalized. And all of our equipment has a lifetime service and equipment guarantee. So if it's lost, stolen, broken, whatever happens to it, we go back out to the house and replace it for no charge, and we don't charge for the service fee either. So that's, like I said, we just keep this very easy for people. So here is my contact information. Please, just take a, if you want, while you're watching this, you can take a snapshot of the QR code, and it'll put my contact right in your phone contacts. And you can please feel free to reach out to me to either get more information. I have a really great email that I can send out. It's got a link of that, the video that we watched, also with some flyers, and then a brief description of what remote supports is. So if you want that email sent to you, just send me an email requesting the information email, and I'll be happy to send that out to you. Again, my email is pdesal@safeinhome.com. And now that's pretty much it for our presentation. I hope it was informative, and I really would love the opportunity to be able to explore this, service with you on a much deeper level. If you have an individual that you think would be a good fit for the service. Do either of you ladies have any questions while we're still on?
Well, I was wondering, I know you talked about how you send the proposal to DDA. What part of like the waiver dollars or where does it come out of the individual services?
Yes, it comes out of their aggregate dollars of the Basic Plus waiver, the IFS waiver, or the core waiver.
Okay.
So it's like that separate pool of things for like community inclusion, and it's that aggregate pot.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's good for parents thinking about which, where it's going to come from and how it'll impact other services.
Yes.
And not a question, but I just wanted to comment on the fact that I love how you mentioned, folks can do this while they're still in the family home. And I think about the families we support, how often we hear that the individual isn't ready to go out on their own. And I could really see this being utilized with maybe families going out for a weekend and the individual having some support to see what that's like.
Absolutely. It's kind of like having training wheels before they decide to make that transition to independent living. It works both ways for the individual and for the family, right? Because it's a really scary thought for a lot of parents to let their child go. It doesn't matter who you are. I mean, I even panicked when both of my kids moved out. So, it's kind of just giving that peace of mind.
Yeah, for sure. And
to everybody.
Yeah. And I think some of our kids, for my son specifically, often he needs to experience something before he's ready to take that next step. And so that's like you said, the training wheels to get started.
Yes, always. Yeah, and I always recommend that they start service if they're still living at home and the plan is for them to move out. I always say, let's please start now, because it really, like that example of the gal going to college, it gave her the confidence to go, and it gave her the confidence to live alone, right? She had never lived alone before, and she was going to be living alone in the dorms, and this gave her that confidence because she knew somebody would be there for her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no matter what.
Wonderful. Erin, did you have any comments or questions?
I don't. I wrote down a bunch, but you answered all of them.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Well,
brilliant minds think alike.
Yeah, thank you so much, Peggy, for sharing today. And we'll make sure this gets out on our YouTube and share it with families as they ask for services. Sorry, you guys can hear my pup in the background. It's her afternoon walk time.
Yeah, no, not at all. And if you could include my contact information with that. And what I'll also do, Teresa, I will send you the example email that I was talking about that has the video, that has the flyers, so that if somebody does ask for it, you'll have it as well.
Wonderful. You know what? And I will also plug that into our parent group online.
Perfect. That would be great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you too. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Appreciate the time. And thanks again, everybody, for listening. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.